What if? What if is the first offering in Beyond Words, Finding Fulfillment Between the Lines. You've had it. Why is it so hard to meet a nice single guy? You're fed up with dieting, only to gain all the weight back when summer ends. Will you ever finish your book? Is a second home in the Berkshires too much to ask for? You want these things. You've wanted them for years, but you're getting to the point where wanting has done nothing to make them happen. Even the affirmations you wrote into bubbles at that New Year's Eve meetup haven't popped into your reality yet. Maybe you're not supposed to meet a nice guy, stay lean, write a book, or live in a dream home. Maybe it's not in your stars. Ugh. You're tempted to scream obscenities, but the kids are in the car. Flash ahead 2 years, and what? You've let your doubt about the struggle to fulfill these dreams marinate in your mind and your body. Now, you've cemented a program, an unconscious attachment to those doubtful thoughts and feelings. Give it a little more time, and you'll be fully addicted to doubting these dreams are possible. By then, you'll defend your doubt and resist your dreams. If you get to a point wherein you believe your dream is impossible, you're gonna be right. Your beliefs penetrate your life. Stop. All is not lost. Even if a dream has taken a long while to become fulfilled, you don't have to give up believing in it. You must let your subconscious program see it happening. Suggest your dream to your subconscious program by using a what-if question. Use a what-if question for the desires you felt are nearly impossible to receive, the desires you fear you're not ready to receive, and or for the desires you have no idea how to make happen. What if you were weeks away from meeting your life partner? What if you were 2 sizes smaller by Thanksgiving? What if there was an estate available for a lesser amount than usual in the Berkshires? What if the next client you took on introduced you to the publisher for your book? What if a new friend lived in the neighborhood you're about to move to? Breathe possibility into your goals by using what-if questions and revive your life. Use a what-if question instead of an affirmation. If your program, your subconscious data, doesn't agree with an affirmation, it'll chuck it out the car window. For example, if your affirmation states, "I'm going to meet my husband this year," but the evidence in your program or your inner belief says, "I haven't been on a good date in 2 years. It's so hard to meet a good man." Here's how you'll behave based on your belief from your program. You aren't friendly to the men who innocently say hello because you don't trust their intentions. You aren't relaxed on dates because you're busy looking for flaws and inconsistencies. You constantly tell your girlfriends how awful men are. Your beliefs always affect your behavior. It will be difficult to make a love connection acting this way. Affirmations get vetoed when your program doesn't find any evidence to back them up. If your affirmation states, "At the next networking event, I will meet a publisher for my book," but evidence from your program contradicts, publishers don't have time to talk to every person who wants to write a book. Your behavior will align with your belief. So, instead of mingling at the networking event, you stand close to 3 of your coworkers and talk about how much you hate networking. You hear there's a publisher from Hay House talking to a small group in the back. You go over to listen, but you do not give the lady a card or tell her anything about your finished manuscript at home. Your subconscious program will override your affirmation. If your affirmation states, I will keep my summer weight off for good, but the evidence in your program contradicts it. I have never kept my summer weight off. It's hard for my body to stay lean. It's probably because weight gain runs in my family. I get hungrier in the winter anyway. Everybody does. Your behavior will align with that belief. You munch on gobs of pretzels and white cheese popcorn after work and gain 4 pounds by September. You blame the change of season. By October, you only go to the gym once a week instead of 5. You stash a big bag of M&Ms in your top drawer after Halloween. Your beliefs always penetrate your life. Your beliefs are imprinted in your program. Your program is responsible for 85% of your behavior. Your program responds to the data and imagery it has stored. If you want to experience a desired outcome, you'll need to influence your program with specific data and imagery aligned with that outcome. To get your program online with your goal, declare your desired outcome using a what-if question. Then imagine the what-if until it feels real. Your program responds to pictures more than words. Visualizing your goals regularly and often will affect the way you behave, speak, listen, declare, and believe. Here are the what-ifs I've used to move scary desires from my crossed fingers into real-life experiences. What if I'm able to pay off all my debt after I move to New York City? What if I could teach high school theater? What if I get special mention in the bodybuilding show? What if I could afford to live in a 1-bedroom apartment in Manhattan? All of the what-ifs that I just listed above, I said above in the book, manifested into my real life. But their outcomes were magnified beyond what I asked for and imagined. I paid off all my debt within 6 months of moving to Manhattan and saved enough money to vacation twice a year. I won first place in my first and second bodybuilding shows. I was appointed head of the theater department and given a $33,000 budget within 2 months of teaching in a new school. I lived in several 1-bedroom apartments in Manhattan, working full-time as an artist and teacher. Here are the what-if questions I'm journaling about right now. What if I lived and worked from a houseboat for 6 months? What if I bonded happily with a forever partner? What if I could empower women around the world to make themselves available to fulfillment in every way? What if I lived in Costa Rica and spoke fluent Spanish? What if I could be counseled by a shaman? Can you imagine how these what-ifs will look when they get magnified? Mental movies. Your program responds to your imagination more than your words. Visualize your what-ifs. Visualizing is like playing a movie in your mind. Have you seen the movie Jaws? See yourself on that boat with Roy Schneider, Richard Dreyfuss, and Anthony Quinn hunting Nah, I changed my mind. Don't pretend you're lost at sea on a fishing boat with 2 guys and 1 masochist, being stalked by a killer shark that's likely to eat you because it eats everyone. Can we agree it might be better to visualize something that makes you want to dance instead of feel freaked out? Picture yourself walking behind the pink ladies to graduation carnival for Rydell High. The football field is sprawling with festivities, teacup rides, strongman bells, Cream pies on faces for prizes. Rizzo and Kaniki are making out on the Ferris wheel. Danny is wearing a milky white sweater with a large R stitched into the bottom left corner. Sandy has found a shiny pair of leggings, black, a biker jacket, and open back heels. Her blonde curls bounce but hardly behave. She smashes her cigarette under her toe, sending Danny into song. Can you see all this? If you've seen Grease with John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John, you probably can. Pretend you're there. You are on that Rydell High School field. Even if you haven't seen Grease, the movie, you can imagine the scene from the description. You just visualized Grease. Imagine your what-ifs the same way. Practice with the following what-ifs and see all the details like your mental movie is real. Here are what-ifs for your body, for a body goal. Read each of them and then imagine yourself living the what-if in reality. I'm just going to read two that I've written here. What if my belly was flatter? And so you take that and you imagine that. You see yourself. What would you be wearing? Where are you going? Set up a whole scenario. So it's not a checklist necessarily, but I'm not reading right now, just so you know. It's you with a flat belly somewhere. And then see yourself there. And what makes you have a flat belly? Is it the outfit? Is it that someone says? Is it that you pass a mirror? See a whole scene where you acknowledge your belly is flat, or the scene itself does. How about this one? What if I felt comfortable seeing my body in a full-length dressing room mirror? I know, you're probably going, God, oh my God. Yeah, but do it. Do it. See yourself get out of the shower and look in the mirror and smile. Like, see this whole scene play out in your mind. And then do that every day. I'm going to keep reading. You can use a what-if question to imagine your desired career, romance, health, financial state, social life, or any personal situation. Write and then imagine your what-ifs regularly and often. That's the key. And your program will get on board to help you realize them. If changing your belief about something you desire to have, be, or do has been a consistent downer, raise your belief by journaling with what-if questions. So what-ifs are good for, and I write this in the book, but what-ifs are good for to write yourself into a goal, to see yourself with from a different perspective, to solve a problem, to make a decision, to make a change. When you're going through a renewal, for example, a new job or a new relationship status. And what-ifs can be used in conjunction with possibility journaling, which is what I recommend. That you write your what-if, and then you write a whole possibility journal entry, which is basically writing a movie, and then playing it and rehearsing that movie all the time. Beyond words, finding fulfillment between the lines. This is a call to journal. I'm Michelle Bernard. As you're working through Beyond Words, finding fulfillment between the lines, and you get to the end, which is when you're exploring wild, and it's the go beyond section. When you get to the what ifs, and you use them in conjunction with possibility journaling, I recommend that you have a separate journal for possibility journaling and what ifs. A separate journal. The reason why I recommend that is that when you do your possibility journaling, it is nice that there's a whole ritual around coming to the journal, so that when you reach to get your regular wild journal and write, that is your dumping and listening and declaring and imagining. But when you reach for your possibility journal, it's almost like your mind is going, I am going there. I am going to the area where I'm going to create now. Like I am literally going to pick up my book of creation and write in it. So you separate the two. So that one has got everything in it. One of your journals is everything. It's imagining, it's listening, it's declaring. Wild is writing to imagine, listen, and declare. But your what ifs in your possibility journal, you pick that up as a separate journal because it will make a shift in your mind that that's where I'm going now. The other thing that I want you to do is I want you to pick that journal up 3 times a week minimum. You do not need to do it every day. You do not need to pick it up every day. You can imagine every day. I think that is very useful. But I want you to write in it 3 times a week and no less than that. 3 times a week. You will find that writing your what ifs and then especially writing your possibility journal entries, you'll find that you feel more available to receive exactly what you're asking for, as opposed to feeling like it's not possible and that you're clenching and gritting your teeth for it and hoping for it and crossing your fingers for it. You'll actually feel like it feels real. You'll feel like you've rehearsed it so much. You know, when we rehearse, I was on stage for most of my life. When you rehearse for a show and you've got the lyrics, the song, the movements, the staging, the blocking so ingrained into your body that when you get on stage, you have no thinking going on. You actually believe you are that character. And your brain doesn't struggle. It doesn't struggle to try to be that character. You've rehearsed it so much. You stand on stage and it's just an instantaneous shift. That's what you want to do by journaling in your possibility journal 3 times a week until it starts to feel like I'm not trying hard to believe in my dream. I really believe in it so much that I'm acting like I've already got it. That's the key. Impress those images on your subconscious mind and have a good time during this process of seeing your dreams come true by actually feeling like they already have. So you're not waiting anymore. You're actually living them before they come. You're gonna love it. Beyond Words, the book, and the Realness Expedition, the course on journaling. Wild. Da da